Yep, and I'm just setting up a couple of things. And there we go, we have our requests. So let's begin. For people that are here for the first time, this is a Tongren Distance healing session. So you put in your request either on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, or our website, or here on Instagram. And we work on from the TAM healing system to open a blockage. And we can do that with acupuncture, Asian bodywork, and even at a distance from a technology or techniques that have been used for thousands of years. So let's begin right now, and we work with less to eliminate prostate cancer, and we should begin with that. So let's begin. It's a 3-part process. Just as anyone that's on my website, they can look and see. I teach it on a regular basis. And Rachel, nice to see you too. Blood flow to the brain. So just sit, relax with your feet flat on the floor, palm face up. Ideally breathe through the nose and relax. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. So, prostate cancer as well as global healing and breathing. For Rachel, blood flow to the brain, brain command points, and brain stem command points. So it's always good to let me know you're better, worse, or the same than last time we met. And we have people here. It's great to see everyone. Our healing community. 2024, we're creating something so far called the Anusara Global Institute of Transformation, which will be an interconnected set of all of our events and our communications for everybody to be in one virtual communication area. Dave and Valerie, hello, welcome. Yes, we got cut off. I did text. I felt so bad. My phone was more than dead, like a cat, not having 9 lives. Didn't quite work, but we're working on it. But great to see you. We're going to do a lot of great things with Tongren and Tesla Healing. So let's start with GV17, which manages breathing. GV17, cardiac, respiratory, vasculatory center. And then blood flow, nerve flow. That's kind of like the main way to really support the body and the physiology of the body. Okay. So cancer is an oxygen hypoxia condition, so let's work on that right away, as well as the breathing. So let's work on the breathing and the oxygen. T2, T3, the bronchial areas and the lung areas. So glad you're here, Rachel. It's good to see everyone. T1 to T8. Anti-inflammation also, which can be a cause of resources going to disease. But let's really focus on the lungs. T3, T2, T3, T6 for the diaphragm. So like I said, let everybody know, better, worse, or the same. How are you all doing? Blood flow, nerve flow for the prostate. T7, L3. So we've got a double cannon going on today. 2 of the Tesla cans right here. I'll work on the microbiome for inflammation. T11, T12, L4, L5 also for less. And for Rachel and less oxygen. So we work on the phrenic nerve. And let's just move all that to the side there. And that's better. So phrenic nerve, which goes to the diaphragm. Lung 1, lung 2, which is the Chinese meridian point. And is that Jacqueline is here. I've been trying to get in touch with you. Hopefully you can email me or get in touch. I think my email went to spam or something else. I hope you're doing well. That's all I care about. And CV17 for Rachel. And CV4 for less for the prostate area. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And we'll continue to repeat all these things for everyone. And I'm just going to check in at the end. Emotional well-being, timid local, I see it. Paula is here. Less for bones. Prostate and lymph. We'll do a lymph tune-up for less. Faris's mom, Dave, and Valerie are here. So Deb, TBI. And let's make sure. Oh, Susan Abner, great to see you. Yep. Jacqueline, be good to see you. If there's anything I can do to support you as well. I keep trying to get there on Mondays, but I haven't done it yet. So let's go. Blood flow to the brain. So what we're doing, as I said, we have 2 biophoton generators with us at the time of this session, which means we can convey those biophotons to you and also enhance the therapy. Biophotons are in the DNA of every one of our bodies. So we actually want to use that conveyor belt of Tongren and transmit biophotons in many ways on something which is very interesting called the luminiferous ether. So Deb, for TBI, let's work on the brain for a few people. Everyone should get a brain tune-up once in a while. 3 blood supplies: carotid artery, vertebral artery, and occipital artery. Everything we can do to support the brain and TBI. And I have the request for Esther right here too. And Sue Abner, good to see you. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery, but the brain, T1, TBI is traumatic brain injury, T1, T2, GB13, left side, right side. Command points of the brain and command points of the brain stem. But especially GB17, the brain stem connects to the brain to the spine. And we have other requests for essential tremors and floater. So there are 2 methods I know of now that are supposed to be cures basically for cataracts. One is from a book, The Cataract Cure from Europe, eye drops of what they call NAC. And the other one is from a naturopath in Australia, where you put a dash of castor oil on the outside of your eyelid, since castor oil penetrates. And then as you do that, it will penetrate in and also break up cataracts as well. So those 2 things are good for cataracts. So again, for the brain, GB13, left side, right side, C1 and C2. So by the way, this is the last time I'll see people before Christmas, so happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. Every holiday is good. Every religion is good. Vertebral artery to spinal artery, T1 to T8, anti-inflammation for the knee pain. For Esther and for, yep, you can put it up from Deb and Esther, yep. Sinus infection, T1 to T8 for Susan Abner. And what we want to do, C3, C4 for the sinuses for Sue, and a special sinus drainage point, GV23. So everyone should be feeling the benefit. I'm immersed in a biophoton field, and I will be doing again probably in February at the full moon another biophoton large dose immersion field infusion with some friends that are here as well from California, and our first goal is to tap for world peace. And C3, C4, receding gums, happy smiles, I think is the name of the paste that I recommend for receding gums and loose teeth. Check on YouTube because I have exercises for the teeth. I used to do it in martial arts. We just would gently, that would be a strengthener for the teeth. You're basically chattering closing your mouth and gently activating your teeth to get stronger. C6, C7, thyroid for head. C3 for Alistair for cataracts and floaters. C3 for dental, bones, and gums. So prunes are good for the bones. Silica is excellent for the bones. Within 6 months, you can reverse osteoporosis. Resistance training, isometrics, walking, all good stuff. T1 to T8 again for anti-inflammation. And then blood flow, nerve flow for the knees. T7 for the blood flow, the abdominal blood. And nerve flow, brachial plexus, lumbosacral plexus. And then the knees, bladder 54, and the ouch points. And grounding, liver 3, and kidney 1. So let's continue on. We will repeat a lot of these for you guys. And also, like I say, let me know how you're doing, better, worse, or the same, as Tom Tam says. And I will be here next week as well. And let's do some more with tooth, teeth, receding gums, and Kelly for chemo, and Katrina Carlson McBrearty for essential tremors. So I looked up I got some more information on tremors. Number 1 is mucuna for L-DOPA, the precursor to dopamine. That's number 1. Number 2, there are specific enzymes which can remove brain plaque. Those are activated by heat shock proteins, which would be like saunas. That would be another aspect to do that. And number 3 is to get rid of constipation and fix the gut. So those 3 things. There's even a lot of data on those, peer-reviewed science on those. And an article I just wrote on that. Blood flow, command points of the brain. And let's take a look. The lighting is not so good. And Livid Fuller, a fertility treatment for sure. Sinus infections, blood flow to the brain. Blood flow to the brain, and start with the hormone system, GV20 for the hormones. Alistair Crowley, again, bone, dental, mouth, gums, C3, C4, C5, cholesterol, T9 and 10. There's a lot of science out there that shows that the high cholesterol has no science relationship between heart issues. We make cholesterol normally. If you want to lower your cholesterol, lower your fat intake, since cholesterol is generated to basically help us to digest our fat. So, for fertility, GV20, T1 to T8, microbiome, and T3, fertility focus, L3, and CV4. And continue on down, liver 3 and kidney 1. And again for the fertility focus, CV4, L3, and GV20. And there we go. And then for Kelly, so we continue with the tremors along with the herb recommendations. Blood flow to the brain. Substantia nigra part of the brain. GB 789. Those three things look like they will systemically, foundationally, really support essential tremors. Other things, of course, the basics, vitamin B12 and D3. That's kind of common to everything. And it says, Katrina's saying, your father is complaining of constipation. Every Parkinson's patient I've ever had, when I met them, they had constipation. What it is constipation creates a situation in the gut that creates these very specific proteins that go up the vagus nerve, and then they clog up the part of the brain that deals with tremors. So step one, clear the gut. There are even cleanses and different things your father could do. So that's number one. Number two, encourage enzymes that are going to clean up those rogue proteins. And number three, heat shock proteins, or basically get saunas, which will break down different things as well, creating those enzymes. So that's a good process. That's a lot of the science on what happens. Sometimes Parkinson's is caused by Epstein-Barr virus, so you need to rule that out as well, but also support the nerves, vitamin B12 and vitamin D3. And there are tinctures for Epstein-Barr virus as well. And let's tap for Kelly. Vertebral artery to the spinal artery. T3 for the breast cancer. T4. And low platelet count because the bone marrow, which you think of as an organ, what does the organ do? It produces blood cells. Platelets, red blood cells, white blood cells. So the best way to do that, this is also good for the fertility, for the cancer, for everything, is a craniosacral boost. So let's do that. Starting in the top of the head, crystal palace. Crystal palace, the ventricles of the brain that pump the craniosacral fluid. Down to the interface between the brain and the spine, TV17, craniosacral fluid, and T1 for the bones, which is the bone marrow for blood platelet counts. to the sacrum 1 to 5 and tailbone 1 to 4 for the turnaround point of the cranial sacral fluid. And also GB39, the Xuan Zhong, also to support the bone marrow from a Chinese medicine point. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. World peace. No war. GV13. In Tong, third eye area, connecting through our heart of compassion through the universal connection. And grounding for the world. Liver 3 and kidney 1. Let's continue for Kim and Helia Raja Pimentel for gout. Nettles tea is really good for gout, arthritis, anti-inflammatory, and tinnitus. And Sue Abner, throat is feeling better, sinuses draining, warming up. Woohoo! Great, Sue. Blood flow to the brain. Let's do a complete round for everyone here. The lighting, something's going on with the lighting here. Let's see if we can get some more light because I can't see you guys on Instagram. Let's see, there's a button here. Well, we'll get it next time. It is dark. So let's see what that says. Okay, sorry about that. So we are good. Close look. Something about my phone is got to be lightened up. Blood flow to the brain, brain command points. Tinnitus. So we work on GB789 for the cranial nerves of the ears. Ouch point of the ears. Blood flow to the ears, facial artery, occipital arteries. And give that sinus draining a little bit more, GV23. Classic point for sinus drainage. And let's really focus for Kim. Second attempt to reattach retina. Still seeing shadows, so let's work C3. I would definitely use Dr. Wheatgrass balm on the base of the neck and C3 for reestablish the brain wound connection and to activate the nerves. That's really good for the nerves, along with lots and lots of B12 and D3 and alpha lipoic acid for the nerves. C3 for the eyes, ouch point for the eyes. And it says the good news, the retina is still intact. Woohoo! So gout is inflammation as well. It's caused by an excess of something called purines. So if you went plant-based for a month or so, because most of them are from meat, they'll also help your gout. Go plant-based for a month or forever. But nettles tea is a good option. I would do that 3 times a day. T1 to T8 for the arthritis for Helia. Any inflammation for the eyes. So let's also work on the eyes from a Chinese medicine perspective. T9, liver. So let's give all a boost. GV13 for good blood supply and support for the nerve, for the arteries. A good idea would be a supplement called Vein Health, which will basically strengthen those veins and arteries near the eye because they're super small and super delicate. So T1 to T8 again for inflammation. C6, C7, thyroid balancing, thyroid issues. They can't seem to get under control. So sea vegetables with iodine. If you're on medication, don't take kelp, but all the other sea vegetables will be fine. Iodine balance and check for a blockage. So that's good news. You're seeing shadows, so something's going on. It's just a matter of improvement. I would do Qigong for the eyes, all those different things. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Okay, continuing for Esther. We'll do some more work on the knee pain. We worked on that. We'll work on the hip and the bladder as well. And then we'll also continue to work with gleeful person, blood flow to the brain. So has anybody out there before me heard about biophotons? In many ways, there is a sea of subtle energy, 0 hertz energy, called the luminiferous ether. They're like subtle biophotons, a field, and then in many ways, the biophotons from our intention are sent on that wind of energy, transmitted. GB 19, 20, 21, 22. Working for teeth and gums, C3, C4. Acid reflux, the acid inhibitors have been shown to cause osteoporosis. What you want to do is enhance your gut. It's not a deficiency of acid, it's not an excess, it's a deficiency. So you want to enhance that through things like baking soda or special baking soda carbonates and bicarbonates of soda. So stomach, acid reflux, so T9 for the stomach, T1 to T8 for inflammation, and for adrenal fatigue, ashwagandha herb would be your choice. T1 to T8 for fighting virus, zinc and quercetin, and iodine would be my recommendations immediately for fighting a virus. And hips for Esther, lumbosacral plexus and hip to hip area. Let's really get her pain going. T1 to T8 for hip pain, and the bladder S1 to S5. Too much fire. So, too much fire? Aloe vera juice. Great company, aloeanswers.com, the best aloe vera, medical grade aloe vera. It will cool down the fire. It will heal and calm the gut, and it will balance out your acid reflux. And grounding for liver 3 and kidney 1. But let's work directly on the adrenals. L1. Since they sit on the kidneys, we'll do L1, L2. So are people doing better, worse, or the same? Like I say, these are the biophoton packs. We've learned through our experience, and there's been some people that have been really helpful to teach me more. They're here now, Dave and Valerie. For biophotons, the more canisters of biophotons, it is more biophoton availability and power. So when I went on the immersion, these are 2 units. When I went on the immersion, they were probably equivalent of 200 to 300 units of biophotons. When I did that 8-hour immersion, blood flow to the brain. So detox from mold is their special herbal remedies. Myco-Zill from Global Healing for mold. Clay foot soaks, clay baths for any kind of detoxing, as well as chemical exposures, but we will work on T1 to T8 and then detox. T3 for the lungs, T4 for the skin, T7 for the spleen. Microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5. And grounding, liver 3 and kidney 1. Lung and sinus infections, let's also work on that. Liver health and healing of broken right foot, as well as your mom, Ferris, blood flow to the brain. People, I see requests for stroke, as well as arrhythmia, and for heart palpitations. I just got some advice from a person who's an expert on herbs and clay. His first recommendation was actually cayenne pepper, and then minerals to balance out the chemistry of your electrolytes, manage, slow down, speed up of your heart. Sea vegetables also does that as well. He recommended something called Mineral Mana and Vital Cleanse and Nutrify. So lungs, let's do a complete oxygen workup for Rachel, for cancers, sinuses, and lungs. T3 for the lungs. T6 for the diaphragm that manages the lung capacity. So breathing techniques like the relaxator would be a good option. For stroke, definitely the Dr. Wheatgrass balm. I've seen people, their hands would open when using that balm with strokes in video. True case studies from Dr. Wheatgrass. T9 for the liver for everyone, detox. Most conditions of illness are deficiency and toxicity. Deficiency of minerals, vitamins, oxygen, toxicity of heavy metals, chemicals, and molds, those types of things. Step 1, create a foundation. That's why we have our foundational cleansing, colon cleanse, and clay detox program coming up in January and February. Broken right foot, silica, and clay castor oil packs for your right foot overnight. Let me know if you did that. Did you try that yet? Also, I would recommend silica liquid silica or Gono brand. Which is also good for detoxing, especially aluminum. Liver 3 and kidney 1. And for the stroke, 3 blood supplies for the brain. Happy holidays for everyone in advance. Great to see you. Keep up the good work. Always remember the great tapping sessions on Mondays with Jacqueline and Yvonne. I think it's at 6 p.m. Is that right, Jacqueline? 5:30 or 6 p.m. on Mondays. Definitely, I would do that every week. So, stroke, blood flow to the brain. Carotid artery, vertebral artery, occipital artery. So lots of vitamin B12 to make sure the nerves are okay. Lots of massage right away to open up the blood flow and nerve flow to the affected area. What side of the body was affected? Can they open their hands? Are they able to walk? Let me have a little more information, Graziello, and then I can focus more detail for you as well. Arrhythmia, T1 to T8. Cayenne pepper, sea vegetables, or a product called Mineral Mana for balancing. For arrhythmias, the relaxator also helps with arrhythmias and heart palpitations because it balances out the relaxation response of the parasympathetic nervous system. But let's focus on the heart, T5. Pericardium and the heart. Hot feet. T7, blood flow and nerve flow to support some overheating and blockages in the lower extremities like the feet, and this will also support the broken right foot. CV17 for fatigue and the heart as well, the heart chakra. CV17 for the heart and lung 1, lung 2, and the heart directly, CV17. So let me know, Graziello, if you have any more information on the stroke, how long it's been. The sooner you go after it, and for the quicker you can have a recovery, sometimes even 100% recovery. So let's go blood flow to the brain. We worked on tinnitus once, but let's work. We have less for bones, prostate, and lymph. Let's do a lymph tune-up for everyone. Is everybody ready? I heard yes. Brain, blood flow, lymph flow to the brain, to the neck. So on the left hand, put wheatgrass balm 3 times a week on the left hand and then have them open up and close their hand. So this is drwheatgrass.com in Australia. There's one in the United States that sells these things. It is called thegrassfactor.com, and that will reestablish the brain wound connection. I have a lot of faith in this product. I've interviewed him more than once. So the lymph tune-up continues. Axillary lymph, part 1. Lymph nodes of the armpits, axillary lymph, inguinal lymph of the groin. So he is walking, which is great. When he walks, swing his arms if he can. Graciela. We're going to work on the blood supply that may have been impacted. Carotid artery for your dad as well, your husband, rather. Very impatient, yep. GB13, right side for the stroke. He's got to do a lot of exercise. You got to re-educate the body. Can he speak okay? And he's got to, I would recommend vitamin B12, alpha lipoic acid, vitamin D3, and then continue and finish the lymph tune-up for everyone, including Happy Mama, CV4, the Pyrus patches, releasing the lymph to the subclavian area. So it was in October, so that's 2 months, so could expect a full recovery for sure. Need to be able to see my hands in the tapping. I was too close. Bones T1, GB39. L3 for the prostate. Paula for hips and knees. Yin Yoga. Hips and knees. T1 to T12, L1 to L5. Hips, blood flow to the hips and knees for Esther and Timid Local, Paula, and then the nerves for the hips and knees, lumbosacral plexus. And for the knees, bladder 54, and the ouch point for the knees. So we're getting feedback that the energy is very strong today. So we have 2 of the biophoton amplifiers. Nettle tea for inflammation, but nettle tea for gout in particular. Nettle tea is good for almost everything. There's a good company called Jean's Greens that has a lot of anti-inflammatory. Basically, that's an herbal apothecary person there. In Massachusetts, it is Woburn, Woburn? Sorry, somebody corrected me. Woburn. Could be my Bostonian accent. In Massachusetts, look up TeslaBiohealing.com. I haven't started the small group treatment yet, but if you email me, I'll add you to that group. We're going to do different levels of biophotons, like 1 can, 2 cans, unknown amounts, up to maybe 11 or 10 or 11, with the help of some other people, and then we will get feedback from everyone. Because we are doing basically what is called quantum Tongren Tesla biohealing, and we got to come up with a better name than that. Tesla Tongren biohealing. Command points of the brain. So for Graziello, what we will do, we'll also work on his prostate area. If he's getting up to pee every hour, should also check his PSA, but we'll work on reducing the inflammation of the prostate, which is oftentimes a cause for constant getting up and having to pee. So you can ask him how many times 2 days before we tap to get up at night, and then tonight and tomorrow night, see how many times he gets up to pee at night. It should be lower for sure. So Lynn, yeah, if you want to be included in the group, I think it'll be 5 or 6 people. T1 to TA for anti-inflammation. So people are commenting that the energy is strong. What is adamantine? What does that mean? Adamantine. Oh, Val and Dave are here. So we want to do a healing. I don't know how many total biophoton healers we have altogether, but everybody will sit, relax with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up, and breathe in through the nose, longer exhales to activate the relaxation response, and we will do a bunch of super overall healing together, myself here in Massachusetts, and on the other side of the country, Val and Dave, to use the combination of all of our biohealers to give everybody a complete tune-up. Blood flow to the brain. Adamantine. I forget what that means. Let's tap for her computer as well. So brain, blood flow to the brain command points. First light. Command points of the brain stem. So we are doing an extra push with more biophotons to do a complete tune-up of everybody. So like I say, sit feet flat on the floor, breathe in, put your mind where you want to get the healing, and the biophotons will go there, blood circulation will go there, and a complete tune-up. Biophotons will go to the DNA of your actual cells. Mitochondria has your DNA. It's like a little library of everything that we are in that little area. T1 to T8 anti-inflammation for everyone. If you started to experience an increased amount of energy in the last few minutes, starting at 6:54, that is definitely a possibility. Microbiome support, especially for Parkinson's and tremors and strokes. T11, T12, L4, L5. We want to work for Augustina as well. 3 blood flows to the brain for everyone. And Augustina for the brain stem growth, which doesn't seem to be a cancer anymore or anything like that, or a tumor. It's just there, not causing any problems. Yep, Graziola, he has prostate issues. That's what's causing the pee, getting up at night. Blood flow and nerve flow to the spine. T1 to T12. L1 to L5 and L3 for the prostate. For your husband, Graciela. L3, T1 to T8 for inflammation for everyone. L1 to L5, S1 to S5, tailbone 1 to 4 for everyone. Merry whatever you celebrate to everyone. So grounding, vagus nerve, gut-brain axis, GB12, CV12, don't forget Monday nights with Yvonne and Jacqueline, the Tongren squad, and CV17 for breathing, Rachel, everyone for oxygen and lungs. The question is, are the replays of this equally as healing? Yes. The key would be to really focus, to get into a relaxation space and listen to it and connect. Because as you connect to that recording in the past, it will connect you to the morphic field of the Tongren collective unconscious of the present. And it will give you also a really good session as well. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's give everybody a chi charge. Happy holidays, powerful healing energy as usual. Glad you could join us, Susan. I'm so glad that you got some benefit right away. That was great. So let's charge the dantians, the upper dantian, the intang, third eye, connection to our true selves, the universal heart of compassion, the connection of oneness for everyone. CV17, the heart chakra, joy, peace, breathing, and the heart, and then the lower dantian, the lower area for the prostate, digestion, absorption, elimination. And let's do some extra chi for the eyes and the heart, CV17, Varus's mom, arrhythmias and strokes. And grounding liver 3 and kidney 1. So let's do a little bit of clearing, basically a frequency, like so many different frequencies, of harmonizing the space after we're done. And always have something to drink and enjoy the day. Leonard, great to see you. Thank you, everyone. Be kind to one another. Pray for peace as we are kind to one person, that spreads. We are pro-peace, not anti-war. So we hope everybody's feeling well, has a great day. Allow the energy to continue to flow and have some water or liquid juice to drink after the session. It's my honor to be here. Happy holidays and take care, everyone. And see you all next week. Take care.